First tournament, I got this.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey man, it's my first time.
Hi man. Alright, pick your stage. FD? What's up, you beautiful people? So today I wanted to talk about something that's very neglected, in my opinion, when you're talking about the meta of Smash, and that's stage picking. So stage picking is a really important thing, because when you're in tournament and you need to decide a stage, then you're kind of just stumped. You're like, what stage do I go? And most people just default to FD, right? That's kind of what most beginners or mid-level players go for, and they just shoot for FD every single time, not knowing the strengths of their characters on other stages, right? And this is super important because it can define a winning matchup or a losing matchup. For instance, if you're a Meta Knight, right, and you're fighting against, let's say you're fighting against a camping Rob, so it would be much more beneficial to go with a smaller stage than a bigger stage, because, you know, Town and City are gonna help him to camp you out. It'll give him a lot more space to camp you out. He has more space to run back, and you have less, you know, you have more space to come at him with. So he'll be like running away and you'll be chasing after him, right? So Town and City would be a bad stage pick in that situation. But let's say you're fighting against like a super hard rushdown character, like say Inkling maybe, and you're Rob. So you would want to counterpick with Town and City, right? Because you don't want to get constantly rushed down. Like in, you know, if you're Meta Knight, if you're fighting a Meta Knight and you're Rob and you're trying to run away and spam gyro and laser, go for Town and City, right? So there are a lot of stages, and understanding how each of them can help you, you just kind of need to learn, you know, what your character strengths are. I can't really explain them here. All I'm going to say is that Meta Knight's best stage is Kalos, because they're the two platforms here and here, and you can down air, and then down B over here, jump down air, down air. Basically, camping is super easy on Kalos, and super broken. Like, you just have to hit them once, and then just do that the entire 10 or 7 minutes for the match, and you're done. Like, it's the most simple, like, brain dead camping maneuver ever. Right, so let's talk about all the stages that are legal. So right here, these are the starter stages. What that means is that you can go these stages if you win the coin toss or the rock, paper, scissors, depending on if it's offline or online. So Battlefield, Bowser is good on Battlefield. This stage is really good for people who can get combo extensions off on. So if you don't know about combo extensions, I can make a video about it, but in summary, you take the combo, say it's Joker up throw combos. So you take Joker up throw, up throw, up air, and then, you know, you land on the platform, up air, land on the platform again, up air, and then, you know, you carry that over until you're out of combo extensions off the platforms, right? So Battlefield is really good for that. That's the strength of Battlefield. And for Bowser, I'd say it's a good stage because his side B can kill a lot earlier. You know, that's just something that's really important. It's also very important to practice on these stages. You need to be practicing when you're playing friendlies with people. Practice on these stages. Don't pick one stage to practice on and then don't practice on any other, right? You want to be practicing on all these stages, and you want to always be prepared when these stages are put up on when, you know, you're in tournament. So these stages aren't going to be legal everywhere. They're going to switch it up a little bit sometimes. Like maybe Yoshi's Island isn't going to be legal. I don't think that's legal, but I could be wrong. Lilac Cruise, sometimes that's not legal in tournament. Those are the two main ones that most of the time aren't legal. I don't know that, you know, I don't know. Maybe this is an old thing, like an old stage pick list. Yoshi's Island, I don't think is legal. I could be wrong. PS2 is the safest pick because it's the most balanced stage. You have two platforms, and it makes it approaching easy, and it makes camping a little bit harder because of those extra platforms. So PS2 is always a really good pick at the start of the set. After that, you can start counterpicking. If you lose, then you want to counterpick them. So for instance, Mario is actually really broken on Yoshi's Story because he gets these platform extensions, which I explained earlier, and they're really, really broken platform extensions, right? So he can go from up air, up air, up air, up air, up air, up B, because the ceiling is really low in Yoshi's story. I'm going to tell you some info about blast zones and, ceilings and little lingo about exactly what, they mean every time they talk about a stage. A blast zone is the radius around the stage that you have before you die. So for instance, Smashville's blast zone is literally smaller than a baby. Battlefield's blast zone is massive. It's huge on all sides. And, Town and City's sides are fairly small, so you can usually get like early kills from off the sides. So these are really good things to keep in mind, because imagine you're doing a bridge combo with Meta Knight and you're like about to pull off, an up air or a back air, right? And you're like, okay, after I do this up air, I don't think I'm going to be able to get another aerial or something like that, right? I'm out of jumps, anything on that bridge combo. If you know how big the ceiling is, or how big the blast zone, the right side blast zone or left side blast zone is, you can just go for that back air and then kill. Or if you don't know how big it is and you want to play it safe, then you go for that extra up air and then you miss the rest of your combo, leading to you not taking that stock, right? So yeah. Let's talk about Kalos. There's this thing with Meta Knight. On Kalos, if you side B the wall on the ground, the ledge, then you'll just hit it and then you'll bounce off. You probably already experienced this, but you can actually DI in and then you'll hit ledge most of the time if you spaced it right. And so, that's some important stuff to keep in mind. Kalos, you're better off not trying to use side B to recover on Kalos as Meta Knight. Town and City, be careful on your spacing on your up B to the stage, right? Because it's flat on the bottom, so if you shuttle loop like this, then you just hit the ceiling and then you fall down to your death. That's important. And the same thing for PS2, be careful on your spacing because it's flat right here. Right here it's flat, so it'll literally just block you off. You'll be shuttle looping and then it'll just block you off right there, and then you'll fall down to your death. So this is all really important stuff to keep in mind. On FD and Battlefield, there's not many like offstage stuff that I can tell you, except that Battlefield's blast zone is really big, so don't expect to get many bridge combos or ladder combos to kill on those stages. But Battlefield, you will be getting platform extensions, so that's really good. I'm just gonna go over Battlefield, FD, PS2, Smashville, and Town City, and how to play on them. So with Battlefield, you can usually, what you can do is you can hide under those platforms if you're trying to catch someone's landing, and then up air them out from under, right? So say they're coming down with an aerial and you're right here. You could actually fast fall through this, right? So you want to be under here, just covering all the options, reacting to what they're gonna do. So say he lands with a fair right here, right? Bowser lands with a fair and he lands on this spot, then you're under, so you can just up air, right? And then you can get a up air string, some up air strings, combos, anything, get some good percentage off that. And for instance, if you're above them, then you can get off the platform and then perform an aerial immediately, and that'll buffer out maybe a back air, forward air, whatever you want, and that goes a long way. That's really, really important. If you both are on the platform, right, and you want to drop down, you're scared, you do not want that interact. Very, very safe way to drop down. Say that you're right here and your opponent is right here. So say that you drop down and then they just hit you with an aerial, right? They use that drop down aerial thing that I was telling you about. You can actually come down and then up air, so that you just do a clean sweep of that platform and they'll be pushed away, right? Or if they shield it, then they're stuck in shield stun and you get to do a free op. Should be another up air to perform some pressure, or you could run away. You could go to the ledge. You could honestly do a ton of things. You could get on the platform and grab them. You have so many options out of this, and it's super broken because they're still stuck in that shield stun and you have no shield stun. So you have all the options. You are an advantage technically. That's really, really broken. So in FD, you guys start off about here. Condor dive, a really, really simple way to do condor dive, which is Meta Knight side B to the ledge. You can go right here in this little sliver between the spiking thingy, and then you can side B down, and then it'll snap ledge every single time, as long as you time your curve right. That's super simple and super good way to just look at the stage and be like, okay, I can do that. I don't have to worry about the spacing anymore. let me just watch the opponent, and then, you know, he's going to be coming up, and you can just side beam immediately, right? You know exactly that timing, because you already have the spacing down. So on this side, there's not much, you know, to give you, but at a higher level, you don't really need it. So once you master Condor Dive, which you want to learn on FD, which is where I learned it, then, you know, it's easier. Another thing is that they have less get up options, right, on FD. On Battlefield, they kind of have jump, and then they can jump on this platform. They have jump, drop down from platform. They have a lot of options here. They kind of have less ledge options here, right? So their only option is jump, roll, neutral get up, or attack get up, or jump, get off ledge, and do an aerial. So what your best bet is here to go line up right here and shield and hold shield, right? So if they try to roll, then you can just turn around and grab. If they try to get up attack, you can just grab them for that or punish them with any out of shield option. And then if they jump, you can actually run back and then reclaim that stage control so that they can't get it, and then you can protect stage from there, right? So that's really, really easy ledge trapping on FD. Now, let's talk about landings. So landings on FD are really, really bad. It's very, very hard to land on FD because you don't have any platforms. You don't have anything to land on. You just have this big stage, which the person on the ground is covering, right? So say my friend, he mains Bowser and he's landing from here. So you can run under him and up air anything, and then they're back up in the air. Or you could wait for them to land. So like say they land and they shield, then you could run, grab them, throw them in the air, boom. You have stage control again. And then they're trying to land over and over and over again. You can just grab, up throw. You could do dash attack. You could do up tilt under them, you know? They always have options, but none of those options are really good enough to cut through what you have. I think that's about it for FD. Let's talk about PS2 now. Is a very good stage for balancing. And so you have a pretty big stage. I think it's bigger than FD. Catching landings here is a bit harder since they have these two platforms. It's honestly kind of impossible because they can immediately land in shield, and you kind of don't know where they're gonna land if they're good at mixing up their options. So here it's best when you're trying to catch a landing to go for reads on what they're gonna do after they land than to actually try to catch their landing, because over here they have these two platforms. They have the huge stage. Depending on what character they're using, they could land anywhere, and they have the ledge as well. Let's say that there's a gyro laser spamming Rob right here, and you are on the opposite side of stage. How would you get to him if he's spamming gyro right here and then laser right here, right? So you jump on this platform, and then he's still spamming laser at you and gyro and whatever. So you get down, okay? And gyro's still here. So you want to go over gyro, but then he covers this with laser. So you can go over it, right? So look at the amount of movement options you have here. There's just so many movement options that you have in this stage. And that's a huge advantage for approaching characters. But because of the size of the stage, it's also very good for camping characters. So honestly, PS2 is just so balanced that I can't really say much about it. And again, flat, do not up beyond to this. Smashville, again, this is flat, so don't up beyond to the tiny blast zones. So you can get really early kills. This stage is good for a character like Bowser that can just sweep those stocks out of your feet, right? Bridge combos work fairly well on Smashville because of the small blast zone. Ladder combos don't work that well because you only have one platform to extend off of. So yeah, you have one platform here, which gives you some movement options, but it's still not reliable. Most of the time, both of you are gonna have mainly stage control because this little sliver of area is stage control. So like you could be right here, and this guy could be right here, and then you just walk 2 steps and you have stage control. And he also has stage control, so you're just in neutral at that point. So Smashville is kind of weird with that. You definitely have to work on, you know, closing out stocks quickly and efficiently in Smashville. Okay, so Town and City, you have these 3 platforms, and these platforms will come in clutch a lot against campers because you know, again, you have so many movement options. On Town and City, you have a lot of ledge options as well, and landing options. I'm pretty sure Town and City is the biggest legal stage. So, you know, you just have so many options at all times. So this stage is definitely good for characters that you know, kill off the sides a lot, like Ganondorf with his F-tilt maybe, and characters that can camp really hard. This stage is probably the best camping stage. Bowser does really well on this stage again because, you know, side B slams onto this platform right here, and then they go zoom this way. So, you know, this is perfectly spaced out for Bowser's side B. Let's talk about Yoshi's story. So, Mario broken on Yoshi's story. These curve. I just want to point that out. This little sliver right here curves, and that's really annoying. So this is not good for projectile characters at all. The projectile will just hit this curve, and then it's gone. It's dumb. This stage should not be legal in my opinion. I really don't like this stage. But, you know, whatever. My opinion doesn't really matter. Lilac Cruise, same thing. Except these platforms are weird as hell. So, you know, I don't know why anyone would want to play this stage, but okay. You know, don't up B wrong. Don't side B onto the ledge. It's not worth it. You just drop down an up B. Honestly, it's just so much easier and it's so much more consistent. One wrong move and then you're off to the blast zone. There's literally no reason to do it. The blast zone is tiny as well, so you'll get a ton of early kills on this stage. And yeah, that's pretty much it on Lilac, but it's still very rare. So Kalos Pokemon League. Again, Meta Knight does the downer, down B onto those platforms. Super broken. You can use these platforms as extra recovery option. Catching landings on these platforms is also very important. So say you launch someone this way. Now they can either land on this, or they can land to ledge, or they could go under the platform and then just land on stage. So they have about 3 options here. Now let's look at FD. If you send them this way, they can either go to ledge or on stage. And if they go on stage, it's like telegraphed, right? You just knock them off stage if they do that. Because they have these extra options, this platform just make landing very, very good. The stage itself is pretty big, so it's really good for camping. And these platforms make it even better for camping. Like, if you've seen me Brawler camping on the stage, it's so AIDS. And so is Meta Knight. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I covered every stage. So please don't overlook stage picking. Play with all the stages on, you know, all legal stages. Go into your settings selection page and click X for edit. Go scroll down into random stage selection. And if you click a stage as on or off, then it'll give you whatever stage that you put as on. You just have to click random on the stage selection and it'll give you whatever stage you like. Thank you very, very much for watching. Like and subscribe. It really, really helps me out. It genuinely helps me out. Like, you know, like other YouTubers, like Mr. Beast says, oh, I like and subscribe, you know. But he has like 54 million subscribers, so it really doesn't matter to him that much. But, you know, it would really mean a lot to me if you raise my subscriber count. I'm trying to hit more than what I have now. So, subscribe, please. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.